Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1696, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. Where can you drive the extraterrestrial highway? Nevada. Lenny Kravitz is the son of what popular sitcom actress? Roxy Roker. What prominent university is located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina? Wake Forest. What city does Jackie Moon's team play for in the 2008 movie Semi-Pro? Flint, Michigan. What song does Tom Cruise lip-sync to in his underwear in Risky Business? Old Time Rock and Roll. Which 5 films did Bill Paxton and Michael Biehn both appear in? Answer: Aliens, Navy SEALs, and Tombstone, Terminator, and The Lords of Discipline. What university's fans signal their sports nickname with the gesture called the shocker? Wichita State. What is the bone diseases that literally translates to porous bones? Osteoporosis. Which U.S. state is nicknamed the Ocean State? Rhode Island. What planet is tilted on its axis more than any other? Uranus. What duo lost their Grammy for Best New Artist in the early 1990s? Milli Vanilli. What year did the Han Dynasty come into power? 206 BC. Acmephobia is the fear of what? Needles or sharp objects. What makes modern-day chewing gum so chewy? Answer: synthetic rubber. Most gum bases are primarily made of different types of synthetic rubbers. What was first presented at Hollywood's Roosevelt Hotel on May 16, 1929? The Academy Awards, Oscars. The pound cake got its name from the pound of what ingredients that it contains? Butter, flour, sugar. What is the only country with Catalan as an official national language? Answer: Andorra. It is an unofficial Romance language spoken by about 10 million people across parts of Spain, France, and Italy. In what year did the show 60 Minutes premiere on TV? 1968. What are the first names of the 2 British comics Little and Large? Sid and Eddie. The Easter lily is a native plant of which country? Japan. What was the name of the 1982 Dire Straits album? Love Over Gold. What 3 countries border the Togolese Republic? Answer: Ghana, Benin, and Burkina Faso. In Japanese, what kind of common fish is maguro? Tuna. When did Princess Diana die in a car accident? August 31st, 1997. Which 3 states share a border with California? Arizona, Nevada, and Oregon. The song Matchmaker, Matchmaker came from which musical? Fiddler on the Roof. What are the two cities in Charles Dickens' novel A Tale of Two Cities? London and Paris. Chess grandmaster Garry Kasparov famously lost to what computer in 1997? Deep Blue. It only took an hour for the IBM supercomputer to beat the chess grandmaster, often considered the world's best. Which composer wrote The Magic Flute? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Who played Elliot Ness in the 1987 movie The Untouchables? Kevin Costner. Which country's Easter brunch typically includes a rye meal soup known as Zurek? Poland. What is the highest elevation capital city in Asia? Thimphu, Bhutan. Which detective lived in Cabot Cove, Maine? Jessica Fletcher, who was also known as Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short. What sign of the zodiac is represented by an archer? Sagittarius. What is the Golden Gate Bridge named after? Answer. Golden Gate was named after the narrow, 300-foot-deep Golden Gate Strait which flows underneath it. What is the lowest point in the United States? Death Valley, California. In 1926, the funeral of what silent movie star attracted a crowd of nearly 100,000 people to view the remains? Rudolph Valentino. Who was killed in 1804 in a duel with Vice President Aaron Burr? Alexander Hamilton. Vermilion is a shade of which color? Red. Which part of the body is affected by blepharitis? Eyelids. Which major car company owns the luxury automotive brand Lexus? Toyota. The Plains of Abraham are located in which North American country? Canada. What does the W at the start of a radio station's call sign typically indicate? Answer. East of the Mississippi River. What two words did Jim Henson combine to come up with the word Muppet? Marionette and puppet. Excluding identical U.S. president surnames, which two are similar enough to have their first four letters in common? Truman and Trump. What state borders Alabama to the north? Tennessee. Which famous actor was originally offered the role of Tommy Williams in the movie The Shawshank Redemption? Brad Pitt. In what U.S. city was French's Mustard first produced? Rochester, New York. What brand of beverage has its containers visible in many shots in the movie Fight Club? Starbucks. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.